All right, aloha, Tulsi Kratz, Bernie Kratz, who else? Disaffected voters, Green Partiers. Gotta get my green... Look, I'm gonna get a Green Party t-shirt. Gonna buy a Green Party t-shirt. Gonna wear it, much like the yellow vest people wearing their yellow vests. The Green Party, to me, is indicative of something that needs to happen. Whether I agree with all of their platform, and I don't, because I'm kind of conservative. But I'm anti-war, I'm anti-corruption, and nobody else really is. Now, for those of you who come over here for Tulsi Gabbard commentary, and that's most of you, I am not necessarily just going to cheerlead blindly for any candidate. I think Tulsi is the best candidate by a mile because of how she carries herself and what she represents, and how I think she's the only credible candidate within the two-party framework that would take on the military-industrial complex. However, we've got to be honest. Every poll I see... Now, people are complaining, though, that, hey, she's at 4% in an Iowa poll. Just saw that on Twitter. I see all these polls, Tulsi at 3. Now, it's supposed to be 2% or more, right? And you're in the debates. She's at 3 and 4% in some of these polls. New Hampshire, technically, she was in 4th place or something like that. I think she had 6% in New Hampshire. And yet she's not on the debate stage. Okay, so here's the thing. And it has to do with integrity. If we keep going down this road, right? We keep going down this road where we're hoping, we're doing wishful thinking. We're saying, oh, well, people will wake up. They'll hear Tulsi, and they'll switch to Tulsi. You know what I've been seeing in a lot of polls? It depends on which state you're in. Joe Biden has a ton of support, which is crazy. And Elizabeth Warren. Like in Iowa, Elizabeth Warren is ahead. Okay? Now, would I vote for Elizabeth Warren? Probably not. Probably not. And by the way, you'll see once the general starts, if Elizabeth Warren is the nominee, she's going to have to do some kind of a makeover like you've never seen. I mean, she's going to have to chug a 6-pack of beer, never mind just take a sip out of one. She's going to have to just... And instead of claiming Native American heritage, she might have to claim African American heritage. I mean, how many black voters are going to support Elizabeth Warren? I mean, Trump will get probably more of the black vote than Elizabeth, or he'll get enough where she'll lose it to him. And it's just, look, at least Hillary had a little bit of black support, right? I know, predominantly the Democrats typically do much better with African Americans than Republicans do. But all the Republicans have to do is kind of slice into that a little bit. They get a sliver here, a sliver there. You're going to get Wisconsin again, and they're going to get Michigan again. Elizabeth Warren is I don't know. I don't think they could pick a more elitist, ivory tower, disconnected, snobby, someone who supports the meritocracy. This whole... you got to read Listen Liberal by Thomas Frank to understand that neither party really supports anybody in the lower to middle income brackets, okay? No, neither party, all right? And Elizabeth Warren she's almost like a side effect of this type of mentality. Oh, well, we'll cross off our identity politics here. We've got our first woman. Tulsi Gabbard, you could have a woman of color, a woman of a minority religion, here in the United States anyway. That would be Hinduism. I know all the Hindu-phobic people out there. It's amazing How many people are that concerned about Hinduism all of a sudden? It's because Tulsi Gabbard, anything that has to do with Tulsi. So, as much as I want to be super supportive and tell everybody, do a little Bob Marley here, everything's going to be all right, dance a little, sing a little, light up your little ganja there, do what you got to do, all right? But, folks, we got to do more than just be wishful thinkers, all right? And hence that is why I may buy a couple of Green Party t-shirts. Unless, hey, Green Party, if you want to reach out to me and send me these shirts free of charge, kind of like as a donation to my channel, I might reach out to somebody over there and say, hey, I'll wear these shirts in every video if you send them out to me. Whether I end up, by the way, and I'll tell them, whether I end up voting for Green Party or not, you know that I'm going to look down the ballot for candidates that are progressive, that will, again, go against the war machine, go against corruption, won't send subsidies to countries, for instance, that are very self-sufficient, who don't need our, like our security. Like, we shouldn't be farming out our military, as Tulsi Gabbard likes to say. We shouldn't be pimping out the military for nations that are quite capable and should fight their own battles. See, this kind of harkens back to why a lot of us were looking at Donald Trump, because Trump said a lot of these things, and of course, he's basically just been a placeholder for the military-industrial complex. I think his instincts are maybe less war-prone than Elizabeth Warren and obviously Hillary Clinton. Here's the thing, and that should scare a lot of progressive people, that you're going to vote for Elizabeth Warren and she wants to make the military green. That's about all she wants to do. Get some bombs that are more environmentally friendly when they go off. Never mind that the military footprint on the world stage as far as carbon emissions and all that stuff, it's got to be a very big problem that we don't hear about, because nobody, and when they talk about environmentalism, they expect you and I to foot the bill for an electric car or something, but they don't expect the military to kind of reinvent itself but Elizabeth Warren's got that. She's got it. All right? And that's the other reason I want the Green Party t-shirts, is because the coronation it's happening. All right? Now, we can stop it. We can put an end to it. All you Bernie-crats out there, you guys have to mobilize. I mean, you've got to do Twitter patrol. You've got to do talking to your neighbors who are so-called progressives. Look, there's a difference between a real, true progressive and this so-called resistance movement, which just hates Trump, okay, and wakes up in a rage every day because Trump is still the president. That isn't getting us anywhere. That's not getting us Medicare for all. It's not getting us student loan debt forgiveness. Bernie rolled out a rental thing today where he's trying to do affordable housing. Yeah, that's infrastructure, basically, is what you need, more housing. That's why rents are going through the roof, because you need affordable housing, and there is zero. If my wife didn't get this mortgage combined with my income and her income, and this only happened, what, a year and a half ago, I'd still be renting from a slumlord who overcharged and underserved their tenants. And this is something that you're seeing all over the country. And it is a major issue. Good for Bernie for bringing that up. But if you're not going to, we can't get to Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard. The reason we can't get there is because they're throwing detours and roadblocks. And you know it. It's the way the media treats. The media treats the people who they think are serious candidates. They treat them seriously. They look at their campaigns and they say, yes, Elizabeth Warren is really gaining momentum. No word on Tulsi Gabbard, though, gaining momentum, and she is, despite the blackout. Despite the lack of coverage, despite the fact she wasn't on the debate stage, And two, despite the fact that the other day she called out Donald Trump in a way that I don't know of any other politician who would do that. That took some cojones right there. And look, she does this, and you think to yourself, wow, that's a president. That president would fight for me. That president loves America, and that president understands the so-called little people. The people who are the forgotten man, as Trump likes to talk about it. Trump forgot about the forgotten man. He's very forgetful when it comes to forgotten man. I'm trying to put a little happiness on this, a little smiley face on this, but a lot of people who keep coming at me with, I get these messages and emails and stuff. Dave, you got to stay optimistic about Tulsi. What's wrong with you? Try to stay optimistic. Again, I know this channel originally was called Save America, Vote Tulsi Gabbard. And because I think it would. And I still believe in that. I still believe that you could save America if you vote for Tulsi Gabbard. Here's the problem. There is a systematic roadblock. Look, if Tulsi's at 4%, that's awesome. And she should be on the stage, and maybe that'll snowball. But how does she get past Biden, Warren, and Bernie for that matter? And in some cases, Mayor Pete's doing really well in Iowa, even though there's some new scandal involving Mayor Pete and his firing of an African-American police chief in his city, where he is supposedly the greatest mayor. Was it South Bend? He's the greatest mayor who's ever lived, even though there are mayors in much larger cities who would probably be better suited, but because, Pete has some deep state thing going on, and he can fundraise with corporations, and he's gay. Because I hear that a lot. Well, he's gay, Yeah, well, that's why, forget the meritocracy now. He's gay, so that supersedes everything. It's just identity politics on steroids. And again, this is why I want somebody who cares about it. By the way, if you ask Mayor Pete about any issue, he's going to give you some nebulous response where you're going to look around and go, what did he just say? Did he say anything of significance? Same thing with Kamala Harris. Same thing with Beto O'Rourke. It's the platitudes. Parry the platitudes. It's just, I think it's platypus, but you know what I'm saying. See, I have children, okay? And the kids, they used to watch that show, and it's a long story, people. All right? I'm just a regular guy. I do Green Party people. If you get this, send me a message. I'll put my email in this. Anybody from the Green Party who watches these videos, I need big shirts. I need 2XLs so to hide all of this this insulation I got going on. But I will wear them. I will wear the shirts in every video as kind of like my yellow vest moment here. And I think everybody else should do it. Whether you're going to vote for Green Party people or not, eventually, we're all going to get there. Just like, hey, where did Medicare for All come from? Where did the Green New Deal come from? All of these concepts come from real populists who care about the country. I'm not going to call them socialists, because people don't even know what socialism is. I mean, the people who advocate for socialism aren't even advocating correctly. It's not what it is. It's basically a free market with some serious controls. And you don't want to scare people. I know there are a lot of people, say over 50 or 60 or whatever, who hear the S word and they're frightened. This is why I tell people, retool, rebrand. Don't speak like an anarchist. Speak like a pragmatist. Right? Write that one down. That was a good one. I should put that. Don't be an anarchist. Be a pragmatist. So there you go. Another video in the can. Look, it's Tulsi Gabbard or bust. But the bust looks like it's coming. So if the bust happens, then what do you do? I mean, do you just keep going on like nothing ever happened? That's why we need to start to organize something and be ready now. go buy your Green Party t-shirts and just wear them as a way to rebel. And again, I will put my email address in here. If somebody wants to order me, instead of contributing to the channel, you want to order me a couple of Green Party t-shirts and 2XL and ship them, I'll tell you where to send them, and we'll go from there. You know, if somebody wants to donate a chunk of change so I can order these shirts, because I really don't have that much disposable income. The channels are doing a little better financially speaking, but if, you know, the people who love Tulsi Gabbard, those people are the people that are carrying this channel. If things don't work out with Tulsi, I don't know, we're going to need a whole new crop of people who are enthusiastic about overturning the entire system, which this is our next step. This is what we need to do, whether Tulsi is the nominee or not. If she's the nominee, then we have a figurehead that we can rally behind. If she's not, then we've kind of got to do it ourselves. Maybe raise someone up. Maybe it'll be Howie Hawkins. Maybe it'll be another person who has yet to declare. Some people like Jesse Ventura a lot. I like Jesse because he's a charismatic figure who would certainly get some headlines, and he's one of those guys who would steal headlines away from Donald Trump every day. And quite honestly, we need the media to get off of that whole Trump train publicity thing and move over to someone else who would advocate for you and I. And at the same time, they would take out Trump. And it would just be a thing of beauty. To watch in the networks, they'd still make money. So they might actually cover it. We shall see. Jesse Ventura, if you're out there, buddy, you got my vote. Unless, of course, Tulsi Gabbard is the nominee, and then you don't have to run. See you soon, everybody.